So anyways, I just stopped. I just said I can't do this anymore. And I literally walked out, and then he was trying to like face fuck her on my bed.
Art Moreno says, does Pete or any of you guys still browse the MISC section of bodybuilding.com? And what's your experience with George Lehman? Who is George Lehman? A lot of people asking about George Lehman.
Hey, I'm going to say some shit on here that's going to blow your fucking mind, but I'm going to let Pete go first.
Dude, the MISC is like the cesspool of the internet. Like I had to get off there because it was too negative for me. But like it was fun when I was a teenager because it was like it's bad, man. It's like going down a bad path. But no, George Lehman, I did one meet with him a long time ago, and he talked to me for like 2 hours on the balcony at the hotel before the meet. Really cool, like deep conversation. He's got so many levels to him. Like he's a very deep guy. He was like the best deadlifter in the world probably 7-8 years ago.
Oh,
and then like he had the American record 909 deadlift, and he was like just a beast. Like we were somewhat rivals before that, but once I talked to him, I was like, this guy's so awesome because he just was like, he's freaking smart as hell. Like he's so smart, but he kind of got out of the sport because he just got like fed up with it all, and he moved to Cambodia, and he's just been living out there. And he tries to stay under the radar. He doesn't like talking publicly. But he was like the guy. Like everybody thought he was going to be the best ever because he had that much talent, and he like worked his ass off. But
was he on YouTube?
Yeah, Bostin knows him because he's from Florida.
Dude,
Bostin knows him.
I'm very curious about him on Instagram.
But Pete obviously doesn't know him to the level that I know him. No. He's been into my house. Oh. I had a threesome with him.
Oh, what's going on here?
We paid a stripper to come home, and we tag teamed a stripper, bro.
Oh, holy shit!
Oh my god!
He tried to take her money, and I had to end up paying her because she didn't make him come. Dude, he was face on my bed. Dude, he's a bad person. Like I don't regret a lot of things in my life, but he was so manipulative. Like you didn't hang out with him obviously long enough because his manipulative behaviors would have came out.
You didn't end up in a threesome, Pete.
No, I didn't, man.
You know,
he just had a conversation.
This story, I won't go into it, but this story I could tell for like an hour because it's one of my favorite stories. I've always wanted to tag team a chick, so I was like, this is fine. But I'm trying to tag team this chick. And I look over, and George is out of breath with his belly hanging over his dick. He's like, and I just instantly got soft because he's not attractive at all, right? And like just looking up and seeing this guy in my shower, like with a huge gut over his dick, like acting like he can't even breathe. I couldn't. So, anyways, I just stopped. I just said I can't do this anymore, and. I literally walked out, and then he was trying to like face fuck her on my bed, and then he couldn't come, so he took her money, and then she freaked out, dude. I thought the cops.
Wait, that's not by the way, that's very inappropriate with prostitutes. You always give them their money if they tried.
Well, I ended up having
to pay her. A rule.
I ended up having to pay her because he took her money and left, and she freaked out. She went out in the front of my yard and started screaming at 4 a.m. Like, and I thought, but anyways. I will never. I know George because that's Ariella's best friend's ex-boyfriend. Oh. So Ariella's best friends is Tessa. You know Tessa, right?
Yeah, I knew about her, but I knew Vince too. I competed with Vince, and everybody disappeared. That's what happens in powerlifting. Everybody disappears. Everybody's like really strong and they disappear.
So when me and Ariella broke up, Tessa and George broke up, and Ariella and Tessa got a place together in my area, and her and Vince had a thing. Ariella and Vince were hooking up, and I found out about that, and then I was like, but me and Ariella, we're good. I'm just super open with my relationship, you know, like I'm openly talking about it, but that was like a bad time in my life, and George was a very bad influence on me. He was like a couple of years older. Like, I've never been to the strip clubs in my life. The first time I went was with him. We went to all the strip clubs on 19. And then He ended up convincing me to bring this chick home for $300, and it was just all shitty, dude.
That's so Boston, how do people know to ask us a question about this? Because I had no idea. I didn't know the guy's name. And then there were like 15 responses.
But Pete obviously hasn't hung out with him long enough because he would have saw his bad behaviors.
I hung out with him for like 2 hours that one night. But like, I was not expecting things to go that way.
He'll talk your ear off. He'll talk your ear off, huh?
Yeah, he's deep.
He goes on and on about his business opportunities, and
he seems very smart, though.
This is such a funny discussion. I gotta Google this guy after. I have no idea who he is, too. It's really funny.
Leo, he was like 350 fat when we tried the threesome with the chick.
For some reason, the way you described him, like out of breath and all that, makes me think of our mutual friend in LA that was a powerlifter also.
He looks like him. Hey,
I swear I was thinking of him. I was like, I can imagine that would have happened to me if I hung out with him too much.
Like him.
That's true.
It's probably the trend too, though, guys.
Oh yeah, the out of
probably
breath.
The trend, you know.
Dude, he was trying to fuck the stripper in her ass. She was like, "You're not fucking me in the ass." He was like, "I want to fuck." He was getting.
You're killing me.
He was like, "I'm fucking your ass tonight." She's like, "No, you're not." Did you like? How long did you hang out with him? Like for like a year, like off and on? Yeah, because he would come over and they would like smoke weed in the back, which I hated. And like me and Ariella were going through a breakup, but she was still living with me. So she would have George and Tessa over. George started training Ariella for powerlifting, so they all hung out. George got really manipulative, and he treated his Tessa like shit, like controlling. Didn't even let her have a car. She couldn't drive out of her house, like super controlling. They ended up breaking up. Ariella and Tessa got a place together, and then me and George had nowhere to hang out, so he kept calling me wanting to hang out. And he's like a super depressed individual because his girl just left him. And dude, he was just I hope that was just a time in his life where it was really dark, and I hope he's gotten better. But if it's the same George, I mean, his brother just did a show, the show that my friend just won, my client just won. His brother just competed.
Wow, I see his brother was like pretty big and strong too.
His brother was like 360 and dieted all the way down to 230 for the show. He made a big transformation.
Holy crap! That's one hell of a bulk.
Leo, that's what George does a lot. He bulks up and he like cuts like 100 pounds, and he does this all the time. He'll like focus on strength and like it's crazy. I don't know. He was crazy strong back in the day.